This is one of the most important videos I've ever made, with a dog that came up at me to my neck, captured on video. If you have a dog who's reactive or aggressive at the door with your friends and family, you really need to watch this video. If you've never owned a dog that's reactive or aggressive at the door with your friends and family, you also really need to watch this video so you can understand the stress, anguish, fear, and isolation that people with these type of dogs live through, and hopefully be able to give them the correct information on how to help their dog. Thank you. I'm at the home of a dog that's reactive aggressive at the door and has got into a scuffle with another dog and went after a woman and jumped up and scratched her. So let's see. So we got two dogs. One's good, the other one not so much. Just leave everything.
Okay.
Just leave everything.
Okay.
So just stand up there. So smell it and push it. And this is where I'm just asking the dog to just stop sitting. Can't smell me, can't touch me. Stop sitting. And then I look at the dog, so the dog looks at me. And then I close my eyes completely as I reach down underneath the head to lick the neck. And this is where I'm saying to him, hey, I'm your mouth. You can't do this to me. Now, sit and relax. Now the test. As I reach down to lick the neck, I close my eyes completely. Once I feel relaxation in the neck, I open my eyes and then I start to softly blink my eyes. It is when I opened my eyes that he jumped up to correct and challenge me at my neck. That's how sensitive eye contact is with dogs. He aimed for my neck with the correction or challenge because that's what he'll do to another dog. And then all I do is ask him to sit and relax. For those of you who own dogs who are reactive and aggressive at the door, and you've had dog trainers and behaviorists, force-free or dominance, come and help you. What did they do in this moment when your dog lunged at them like that? That's the difference between someone who says they can help you and someone who can actually help you. It just turns out that those people who can't help you don't want you to talk to or listen to someone like me who can. I hope you understand why. Yeah, you guys sit over there. I'm going to sit here, so I'll just kind of...
Do you want me to keep filming it?
Yeah, please. So right there, he's just smelling and touching again. So that's why I correct and ask him to sit. And then I ignore him, don't look at him. Pay attention to this one. And this is where I'm helping him to see I'm going to give you affection, I'm going to give you love and everything, but this is what you need to be like to get that. So he's definitely territorial, protective. He's focusing up. It's much better when you come in and they're focusing at your feet, right? So he's focusing up, so he means it. He's coming in for a nip, not a bite. So he's coming in with those front teeth, and quick, like multiple, 2 or 3 in a split second, right? So he's not an alpha, thankfully. He's a beta. If he was an alpha with that type of intent and energy, he wouldn't have stopped. He would have just kept going, like just, generally when you have somebody come, you don't have them out, right?
A big problem is we don't have a lot of people come to the house at all, really. We're from the UK, so we haven't got a big social network here. We haven't got friends that come by. The people that do come by, he knew from a puppy or he knew from growing up, and he hasn't got a problem with.
I'll go with those.
I've got a friend downstairs right now. He came from London, and it took about 2 or 3 weeks for me to get him comfortable with him before I was happy to let him off the lead and go and say hi and he could pet him. Right. I would just start outside, introducing him, let him sniffing him with the muzzle on. Yeah. Then we'd come in the back garden, and then obviously I'd go out with him and he'd come outside, and then we'd walk into the house together. It took about 2 or 3 weeks before before I felt like he's not going to do anything.
And that's without the muzzle, that he's with the person now.
Yeah.
So how did you know that you'd be okay to go without the muzzle? What kind of change in his demeanor and stuff?
He wouldn't go with the ears back. He'd kind of start wagging the tail when he saw him. He didn't, before he'd just constantly want to pull and charge and like, right, I'm going straight. And then he kind of just, that guy's not bothering me, so I'm not going to bother him, it felt like. Okay. So he'd just kind of ignore him. We'd stand out on the deck, he'd come out downstairs, and he would just kind of, I'm not even interested in who that is anymore. So I was like, maybe. Okay. And then we started with some toys, and since then he's been all right with him, actually. So
so today, something he does, even though he knows Daniel's downstairs, Daniel will come to the back door, knock on the back door to interact with us. And this morning, he charged the door like he did down there. Yeah. It's almost like he's forgotten Daniel was here. And then once I opened the blinds and he seen Daniel, but he still wanted to go out there and smell him and see him. And he was fine, right. But it's like he forgets someone's around. And sometimes it's almost like he
doesn't know it's the same person. It's just another knock on the door. It's a noise. And he's used to reacting to all of it.
Right.
Because he's taken on this territorial and protective, right? So when a dog is just taking on a territorial role, that's again is much easier to deal with, right? But when they're taking on territorial protective, that's a harder one to deal with, especially if they're an alpha. Also, when a dog's mind goes above level 7 of any type of alert energy or anything like that at all, they stop smelling and they stop panting. And dogs do not know you or anything else in this world by how it looks. They know absolutely everything by how it smells. So we look at the couch, we see a couch. They look at the couch, they smell the couch.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's why a dog smells everything that you put in front of their face. That's what the object is. It's scent. That's how they know it. So you could have somebody, and I get this a lot, where the person comes in, the dog knows the person and everything, the dog is fine with the person, but then the next time the person comes, the dog is nuts again, until it calms down enough that it starts to smell, that's who you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You see? So the key to fixing this is never letting that energy go above level 7.
Okay.
That's why treats don't work with highly reactive and dominant dogs, because they're not smelling. Their mind is above level 7. It's about protection. Soldiers don't stop in the middle of a firefight to eat. It's not time to eat. It's the same with that. He's born to do this job. That one's not. Not all dogs are the same. And now, this is what I want. This is level 1, calm, relax. And we just wait for it. You block the movement, you block the energy, and you just wait for it. And as long as you're not adding in energy, no, stop it down, off,
Yeah, which I'm definitely guilty
You're adding energy by just correcting the energy and the focus, and then projecting calm energy. We just want him to understand that from today forward, he no longer needs to be territorial or protective. That's your job.
Yeah.
Right? You're the mom. And you're the mom too. It's about being the mother, not the alpha male. Unless you own an alpha, then you have to be the alpha mother. And it's the mother because the alpha has nothing to do with raising the puppies. It's only the mother. And she's alone with them until they're 3 months old. And a 3-month-old puppy is equivalent on a psychological basis to a 3-year-old child. So that's what we're dealing with at 3 months old. It's like a 3-year-old child. So how different of a relationship would children have with their mothers if they had no idea that their father or any other human being existed until they were 3 years old? Your mother is your entire world. So she's nurser, nurturer, teacher, disciplinarian, and protector. All of it. In the human world, those roles are generally split between the mother and the father. Right? So, again, generally speaking, women need to learn, because we have a lot of love and nurturing and mothering, empathy, feeling sorry, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is more of a mother's traits. So the mothers need to become more assertive, right? And then, generally speaking, men, the dominance when we look at it, especially how we're portraying dominance in the dog world, is actually human dominance. It's not dog dominance. Human dominance is for power and control. Dog dominance is only to establish and maintain your position in the family, and that's based on your ability to protect, not your ability to kick the crap out of people. It's your ability to protect. Just because you're tough doesn't mean you can protect. So men need to learn to take our corrective energy from dominance and make it assertive. It's just, I'm your dad, I'm mean. I'm not angry, I'm not upset.
Yeah.
Right? I just mean it. Now, one of the main aspects of the mother that's not seen, so in a pack there's 3 leader positions: the mother, the alpha, and the teachers. Only the mother is the one giving the affection, and she does it by licking their neck, and she does it from the day they're born, and they'll never forget it. So you hold out your hand, palm up, like this, and bring your hand in underneath, and then you move the tips of your fingers right here behind the curvature of the jaw into the neck, and it's the magic spot. And it doesn't matter who is doing that. It could be a cat licking the puppy's dog's neck. It could be a human. It doesn't matter. Whoever does that represents the mother, because you're licking them the way their mother did. See? That's what it's about. It's an association. So to me, I am my dog's father, but to my dogs, I'm their mother. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If a stranger was to come into the house and he's acting like that, how long does it take you to get him to settle?
We never let him get to the door. Either one of us will be up here having him sat and we'll be with him just calm, holding him, or we've got a baby gate at the top. So he would never be down at that point,
Okay.
because we wouldn't.
Is he still high energy?
Yes,
reactive
yeah,
up
he
here?
will still charge, he will still bark. Yes, yeah.
And how long would it take him to settle?
Well, we don't really have any strangers coming in.
The only example we've got is the guy that's downstairs right now. And, when he first came out, he came and sat for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And he wouldn't settle. I had to put him in the crate because he was just being too disruptive. He'd keep coming. I left the muzzle on him.
So it wouldn't be like this.
Oh, no.
No,
way.
no.
Yeah, so this
Yes.
is what we want.
With this, with you, the fact that you, in that short
Like
space
it
of
took
time.
2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
before we got used to that. And Daniel would sit there and I'd keep talking so he can hear your voice. And like Reggie would just sit there with his eye out the only corner, just watching him.
Yeah.
And just after, like I say, after about 3 weeks of him coming up, hi Reggie, introducing, hi Reggie, and then kind of I was saying like, don't reach out for him, just let him come and sniff you. Like I said, after about 3 weeks, and we haven't had anyone else that he doesn't know come in because just because we don't have people come anyway.
Yeah.
But we feel like now actually even if we was to have someone come, he'd have to be locked in the bedroom or the crate because
Well, it's like next year, I've got a few friends that have said they would like to come out. I don't want to be apprehensive, nervous, unconfident with my friends coming to our house. I don't want to say we can't accommodate you because of our dog Reggie. One of the girls that is going to come out spent 2 weeks with Reggie here on holiday.
he was only like a year old at that point
Yeah,
and didn't have
and
any
was
issues.
absolutely fine. But I would say if she came to the door, he would react the same.
More than likely.
So, yeah, I want us, besides obviously the incidences that have happened, we don't want to be in that situation again, for sure.
How old was he when he started acting this way?
I'd say a year and a half.
Yeah, so I used to take him into work with me as a pup. I used to work in an office environment with 3 other women, and we used to, it was a property management company, so we had visitors coming in once a month paying rent and stuff, and we had a gate up, and he was fine. And then one day we had someone come in, a guy, he had a hat and glasses on, so we weren't sure if it was that, but he shouted at him and kind of wanted to go for him.
The person shouted at the dog?
No, Reggie shouted at the
Sorry,
person, barking at the person.
Okay. And that's the first time that something with like that intensity and behaviour happened?
Yeah, I wasn't actually in the office. I was in the toilet.
Right.
So they actually had to lock Reggie in a room. Luckily enough, one of my colleagues was able to get him in the room. And then I never obviously took him to work again.
Okay.
And then I don't think we've seen it till like recently like this.
We just haven't. He hasn't.
We
been
haven't
in the
been in
situation.
the situation.
If he's out in public, like if we're out on a walk, someone can come by and he'd be quite happy to say hello.
Like on leash, he's good.
Yeah.
Same with other dogs. He's not reactive towards other dogs and stuff.
No.
Oh, he's totally obeyed. This is just 100% the house. It's interesting that sometimes a dog will only protect or be territorial to the house and the yard, but they're fine outside. Others will only be territorial protective outside, but they're fine in the house. And then some are protective territorial both places. So this is a good thing. At that age, you know, a year and a half, dominance really starts to show at 3 months of age, and that's when you get these puppies now that start to bite and challenge and just look, you know, these vicious kind of things, right? It's all challenges. It's not aggression. It's just totally normal behavior for dominant puppies. 6 to 8 months is when real behaviors start, or if behaviors have already started, they start to become exponentially worse because they go through puberty. So it's like the teenage years, right? That's when a lot of people say that I had the perfect puppy. I had no problems with my puppy. And then all of a sudden, 6 to 8 months is kind of like Cujo. Don't get it, don't understand it. That's why. Going through puberty. 10 to 16 months is sometimes, again, when the behaviors will first start, or when they really start to become exponential with the alphas who would have already been reactive aggressive from 3 months of age. But 10 to 16 months now is when it just goes right overboard. And that's when they start to bite their owners, challenge their owners. Because at that age, they're now nearly full grown. They're like, 14, 15-year-olds, right? And they're going to start to challenge older members of the pack for their position in the family, because your position in a human family is based on age, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins. Your position in a dog family is based on the level of dominance or confidence, ability to protect that you were born with. And that's what dominance challenges are about. Not about beating the crap out of each other, to determine who is more capable of protecting the other. So,
Shots. Enough. No. No.
so when that incident happened, nobody had a conversation with him to say, you don't need to be this way. Just relax.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
Put in a room, put out of the place. The mind is still in that state. It just becomes this association. And if you had have continued to bring him to work, it would have become exponentially worse each time, going from barks to lunges to full-on bites, right? Always does. Same thing you're dealing with here with the door. He just really needs you guys to be able to just do exactly what I did. Just that snap on the leash and it's, hey, that's enough. Now sit and relax. And he's like, oh, okay. Because he's a beta. He doesn't want to do this job. He just feels he needs to because nobody else is, or nobody's telling him he doesn't need to. Now, we can't have these conversations with him in English because dogs don't speak English or any other human language. You have to use their language. No words. Words always make them worse. If you have high energy, confident, dominant behavior like this, it makes it worse.
No! Bishop, stop! Bishop, stop! It's okay. Sit down. Sit down. No, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. No.
If you have a nervous, anxious, unsure, insecure, or fearful dog, and you're like, oh, it's okay, baby, you're fine, those words make those dogs worse because it's about your tone. You're using high energy tone with the high energy dominant dogs. You're using reassuring tone with the nervous dogs. So you're encouraging or adding to the energy with those ones, and you're encouraging the behavior because you're reassuring it with your tone. So we can't use words.
Because you're actually rewarding him for doing that. So you're basically saying to him, that's the behaviour I want.
When we're correcting, disciplining, getting focused, sometimes teaching, we just don't use words. When the dog is calm, relaxed like this, you use all the words you want. But it's best to whisper because higher energy words are going to cause higher energy in the dog. So you whisper, and that's why they call us whisperers, because whenever I talk to a dog, I whisper. They can hear you, right? And it keeps that energy nice and low. So in the house, they should always be calm and relaxed. There's no running around, jumping, that type of high energy play. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of, that kind of stuff is calming. But there's no running around, jumping. There's definitely no barking and being territorial. None of that. You got to claim the doors. If they're barking at the windows, you got to claim the windows to move them back away to say, no, that's my job. Territorial, not yours. You go sit down. See? I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, this is even better.
And he hasn't been out at all today, so he should be. This is normally his time to let's go and play. And
Yeah, instead he's going to sleep. This is an extremely important point. How many times has a dog trainer told you to exercise your dog before they come to wear off some energy so that their dog is easier to work with? I told these people not to exercise their dog before I came because I wanted to see what their dog was like with all this supposedly pent-up energy. And this just proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, almost 2,500 dogs, it's just about asking your dog to be calm and relaxed, regardless of how much energy they may have. That's the point. Regardless of how much energy you have. Right now, I just need you to be calm and relaxed. And I have never in my life seen a treat make a dog calm and relaxed and go to sleep like this dog just did. This is what it's about.
So we do a lot of play and running around in the house with the dogs. These two play wrestle a lot. He very good with soft play with her, and he taught her soft play wrestle. So we do a lot of that in the house.
Soft play wrestle is okay in the house, but running around nothing high energy, say above level 5. That's what they go outside. I don't know in the winter time here in BC it sucks because of our monsoon season. But when you have breeds like these guys, and especially a beta dominant like him, who's born to be territorial and protective, we got to keep that energy going to calm him down.
Okay.
You know, give him lots of time outside, because when you can play with them too, right? But you've got to be claiming your personal space and play. You can't be letting them jump up on you or coming in and pushing you and nudging you, and you got to claim your personal space all the time, because they have to see you as the mother. They can't see you as a playmate, because then they'll go back to doing this again.
Okay.
Because recently he has started, if like I haven't played with my go to go out, he'll be at the, come on, let's go, come on. And then if I put my shoes on, it's taking too long, and he's like kind of trying to jump up, and I've been trying to get him to just calm. He doesn't do anything to me, but he is trying to jump up and kind of like, come on, let's go, like getting in the space.
So that's this noise, and then the finger snap, if you can, which brings focus to my hand, and then my hand is sideways like this is blocked. And that's stop, sit, relax. Stop, sit, relax. Right. The main thing you need to understand is correction. Corrections in the dog world are not punishments. They're a redirection of focus. Stop doing what you're doing and look at me. Stop thinking about what you're thinking about and look at me. For direction and guidance, so that I can teach you. It's the equivalent of the word hey with humans, with kids, right? Instead of saying the word no, which is negative, you say the word hey. Big difference. There's 4 levels of correction, or ways that a mother dog gets focus. All dogs really, but especially mothers. And the first one is a bark. It's a very specific bark. It's like a bark growl combined, raw, like that. She can make it really low, or she can make it really loud. So when she makes it low to medium, she's asking. When she makes it really loud with forward motion, she's telling. There's no make. You can't make a dominant dog do anything. And when you try to make them, especially an alpha, they're just going to bite you. Right? So there's ask and tell.
Jetzt werden wir gleich sehen, wie eine Mami ihre Welpen berührt.
If the puppy isn't listening to the tiss noise, just ignoring the tiss noise, like sometimes kids just ignore you when you're trying to get their focus, right? That's where the mother is going to run up and bunt the side of the neck with a closed muzzle. Lower energy stuff, she's going to come in with that mouth closed and just do a bunt. If it's high energy stuff, dominance, aggression type of stuff, she's going to come in with those teeth bared. It looks like she's going to bite. But as soon as she gets right next to the neck, the mouth closes and she bunts, and then she opens the mouth again. So that's why it looks like she bit. Sometimes those puppies are going to yelp when she bunts, but not because she bit them, right? Just, okay, Mom, I got it. That's all that is. So that's at the neck. A level 2 or a level 3 correction is at the side right here in the belly, just in front of the hind leg, and that's where Mom nips with those front teeth. It's a very serious correction. And she comes in and she does a quick nip. So usually on medium long-haired dogs, you'll see a fluff of fur go. Sometimes on the short-haired dogs, you might see a long triangle-shaped bear mark, and that's from that canine coming down. And it's not being used. Those front teeth are being used, but that canine comes and gets pushed into the skin as they come in, and that's what causes that triangle-shaped bear spot. Canine. And then a level 4 correction is where mom comes and gets the neck and puts them over on their side, right? There's a lot of dog trainers out there on the dominant side of things that would think that what he did with me coming in the door, that should meant me giving him a level 4 correction, but he wasn't being aggressive. He's just being territorial, protective. He's just doing his job, and he's not an alpha. He's a beta, so he just needs to reach, like I did, just level 2 correction. That's enough. But the level 4 is the one where people think, unfortunately, that you're supposed to force the dog on the ground and pin them and hold them until they give up, and you don't do that. I own 34 dogs, and I have 3 that are psychologically damaged for life for being pinned as puppies because they were so aggressive. Right? You never pin a puppy. What mom is doing is mouthing, and she flinches the teeth. So she comes in, and those molars are the ones that are, the canines are the ones that are touching. And she does a flinch of the teeth, and the puppy goes down. The mom's not pushing the puppy down. She just flinches, and the puppy goes down. And usually that only needs to happen once, and then every other time, all the mother has to do is come in with that energy, and the puppy just goes down. So, oh shit, mom's coming, right? You know. And then once the puppy is down, you get some kids, right? You try to put them on that timeout chair, and they're off of it. 20 times you're putting them back in that timeout chair. They're high energy dominant children, and you see the same thing with high energy dominant puppies. Mom puts them down. They don't want to stay down. They want to get up and do what they're doing, and that's why mom thinks that, or people think that the mom is forcing the puppy down because the puppy is freaking trying to get up. But what she's doing is keeping the mouth there, and every time the puppy tries to get up, she flinches the teeth, and the puppy goes back down. Gets up, she flinches the teeth, it goes back down, and just keeps doing that until the puppy finally stays down. And then once the puppy lays its head down, like that, then the mom gets up and she stands over the puppy and ignores it. And if the puppy lifts its head up, she'll look at it, because at this point that puppy will not try to get up, but it will lift its head up. And if it lifts its head up, she looks at it, gives a little low growl, looks at it, the puppy lays its head down, and then she ignores it again. And then what she's waiting for is the relaxation. And as soon as the puppy relaxes, then she just walks away. Or she might walk over, turn, and come back and start nuzzling the puppy. Right? So it's not a punishment. That's enough. Lay down and relax. It's all about the energy that you're trying to project in that moment. It's hard for our energy not to go into the dominance, the frustration, and the anger and high energy when dogs are acting that way. But that comes from practice and confidence and understanding to be able to, because everybody thinks that this type of behavior is aggression.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just not. That's how they communicate. We're just communicating back to him the same way. But a balanced, more dominant dog, alpha mother, for a dog that's coming up biting, they don't need to turn and do the same thing and start biting back. They just need to project this. It's just this look they give. It's an energy that they project, right? My Chihuahua, I've seen it many times, a Belgian Malinois that nobody could control. My little Chihuahua did one bark, and that Belgian went, yay. And then she just stood there, just staring at this Belgian Malinois, and it just went on the bed and lay down. You know. So we had to learn to communicate with our eyes, because that's how they communicate, right? I'm sure the two of you can look at each other sometimes and know what the other one is thinking, right? Yeah. And sometimes when you have a very deep psychological connection with a person, you can look at each other and have a complete conversation back and forth, just from looks and different things like that, right? So we need to understand that that's like 90% of dog communication, is just by looking at each other. So whenever your dog is looking at you, they're talking to you, they're saying something, right? You need to try to understand what that is. Without projecting, without humanizing it, without projecting our thoughts and ways and onto the dog. We had to have a blank mind and understand from the dog's perspective what they're trying to say, and not putting our stuff into it. Because they're so simple, right? You know, feed me, love me, play with me, and then now let's go to sleep. You know, the nap, this is the essence of dog. Dogs want peace. But they're willing to fight for that peace if they need to defend it. Right? Alright, so now, also a good thing here is that as I move in the chair, he doesn't become focused on that. He doesn't become alert to it. So he's very comfortable with my presence. He knows I'm not a threat or a danger. And I think he sees me, starting to see me as a mother. Not there yet, definitely starting to. Okay, so I'm going to walk him around a little bit, walk him down the end of the hallway there. Just to move him a little bit away from you guys. See how different he is. Can I go in this room at the end?
Oh yeah, happy so.
Yeah,
So anytime he tries to move away or focus on something, you'll hear me make the tisk noise and a little snap. So there, see, he's going that way towards you. I just correct and I say, no, don't go that way, follow me. I got the leash right now, I'm your mom, you follow me.
good.
Yeah, he looks pretty relaxed.
Got his head. Just closed his eyes back. Touched his ears. Pupils dilated. They were like half dilated. As soon as I touched his ears, people went full dilated. I got out a little look, and then I went back to the head, and then his pupils went down a little bit. So, a little concerned with the ears. At this point, the dog is in a very calm and relaxed state. Level 1, with its head laid down. His eyes are really soft. I know you can't see it in the video. And I'm licking his neck. And that's where I now kneel down. Going to be there for a bit, I know. Because now I want to sort of, this is like taking a nap with him, so to speak. So the whole time, you can just see my hand every now and then. I have my hand in underneath and just very gently and slowly licking his neck. You see, I don't look directly at him. And if I do, I close my eyes and soften my eyes. Your energy in this moment has to be complete zen, calm, and relaxed. And that's why you're softening your eyes. You're projecting that calm energy. You have to create it and project it. And you just lick their neck.
Yeah, he does go to a daycare as well. Or he did.
Yeah, I remember we discussed that, and that's when I knew I wasn't dealing with a bad case.
And they say they're literally, they like, he's the most affectionate dog they've got. Like, they all love him. Yeah, they haven't had any issues with him there at all.
Well, so we went to England
September.
6th of September for two and a half weeks, nearly 3 weeks. They'd both stayed there last year, they both stayed there this year. Great stay, everything was fine. And then we'd been back 2 weeks when the incident with next door happened, with the dog next door. And then the following week he went to daycare. We made them aware that happened first and said, can he come to daycare with a muzzle? And they were like, yes, that's fine. And then they sent us a message to say that whilst he was at daycare, he was anyone going near Maddie, any other dogs going near Maddie, smaller dogs, he would be growling at, and I would say being dominant. And also the gate, didn't you say? Just switch that off, sorry. And so they removed Maddie and took her off for a pack walk. He was set aside, but any of the smaller dogs he was being funny with. We did pick them both up slightly early, but they just said it wasn't great behaviour. They didn't ask us to pick him up, and they've said that he's more than welcome back, and they'll just keep an eye on him. And then Damien, obviously, because we've shared our concerns with Damien, and Damien passed your details on.
So he was with Damien those times? That's the place you're talking about?
Yes,
yeah.
Lucky
Dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So things changed for him with this incident with the other dog.
Yeah.
And he felt that he needed to start becoming territorial protective in that realm.
Yeah.
As well, not just with people, but also with dogs. Loves his sister.
Yes.
Just loves
Yeah.
his sister. So just becoming a little bit territorial protective of his sister, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but all dogs and puppies and kids, they got to learn how to socialize properly, play properly, and be respectful. Unfortunately, with the dominant dogs, there's not a lot of people that know how to teach those lessons. So that's another part of it. But the rehabilitation is about him learning how to socialize properly, play properly, and be respectful. But he did know. He did do it.
Yeah.
But there was an incident that happened that changed his perspective on things. And them back to balance, calm, relax. And the thing with the rehabilitation, it has to be done with balanced dogs. It just has to. And that's what my dogs are. Right? They're a full functioning pack with mothers and grandmothers and teachers and alphas, and me is the top mother over all of it. All right. Can I just get you to go and knock on that back door?
Go outside, close it
No,
up.
just knock from the inside.
Or do you want to get that? No, just not back in.
Let's see what it does. Do it again. Good. Okay, now go downstairs and do you have a doorbell?
Yeah.
So ring the doorbell. I'm just gonna let her do what she wants for now. So what I'm asking him to do is don't worry about the doors. Just bring it in. I don't look at him, but I'm look. You always look like a few feet away. You always look a few feet away, so you're seeing the dog in your peripheral vision. So you're not looking directly at them. And then the second they get up, the second they move, then you look at them to do the correction down, and then you don't look at them again. So learn to watch them through your peripheral, not direct. Right? So this is teaching them that whenever somebody comes to the door, you go to your bed and you stay there, because we don't know if that's a danger or not. It's our job to protect you, not your job to protect us. So you stay there. If it actually is a burglar and you start freaking out and screaming, he's going to come. So when he knows you need him, he's going to come. But all other times, you stay up here. And the same with her. She's got to learn to stay up here too. Okay. But totally different reaction to the doorbell already.
Yeah.
Did he move?
No. Well, he
Got up and I just laid back down.
should I get Daniel to knock on the back door?
Sorry?
Should I get the guy downstairs to come out the back and knock on the
Yes.
back door just to see if?
So my memory isn't always great.
So paw off the bed. He's got to be fully on the bed. So I'm going to walk in here. Oh, back. Back. I look at him till he looks at me, not that door. Right there. Then I blink and I go to the door. Or he has to stay. So if at any time, as I go to the door, the person comes in, doesn't matter, any time, I come back and get him right out of bed. And I go back to what I'm doing. He has to stay on the bed. She does too. She needs to learn too, but we're not worried about her. So again, I want that focus. So I look at him. This is my dad pointing the finger, tilted his head. Whenever dad pointed his finger, tilted his head, you knew he meant, right? And that's that protection.
So this is
I
where
knew.
you have like full eye contact.
Yeah, because I'm correction, challenge, or dominate. So when you're giving a dog a command, you're challenging them, because you're asking the dog to do something that in that second they didn't want to do. That's a challenge. And that is where I'm just saying, stay. Hey bud, how you doing? All right. Now, so he's got to look at me, raise it.
So he gave you the
have
look.
the patience of Job. Right? So another stay. And then you come back. There you go. Okay. So as your company come in, front door, back door, you back up to move away from the door so that you maintain your body position between him and them. And that's how you're showing I'm protected, right? Now, when the people, just close the door. So as the people come in the house, you always come in first. And by doing so, you have your back to them. And that's how you're communicating to him that you're not worried about them. Because he knows if you were, you'd be looking at them. You're not, see? It's this nonverbal communication. Now he has to stay, and this, my hand is saying stay as I come in, and then when you get about this distance away, you turn sideways to him, ask him to stay, come down, lick his neck. Now you come in, and just go sit next to her. So you see? Now this is extremely important. As you see me licking his neck, every time he tries to focus on the person, I stop moving my fingers. I leave my hand by the neck, but I just stop moving my fingers. I make the tisk noise to get the focus back on me, and then I start licking the neck again, moving my fingers. He looks away, I stop moving my fingers, I make the tsk noise, he looks at me, I give him the affection again. And this is where I'm asking him to ignore the person, and I thank him for doing so by licking his neck. The focus, he looks at the person, I correct that focus, say no, just look at me, and then I lick his neck. And this is how I'm helping him to associate that person with the affection from his mother. See? Anything you do to a dog, and this is why I love what you're saying with that vet, I'll get her name because I really want to meet her. First time I've ever heard it. But anything that you do to a dog while you lick the neck comes to represent the affection of the mother. So if you're going to put on a muzzle, you lick the neck first, then put on the muzzle. Collar, lick the neck first, then put on the collar. Anything. If it's a person, you stand there licking his neck and then ask the person to come in and lick the other side of his neck. So he associates everything. So now you see he's not focused on the person. His eyes are nice and relaxed. I still got my back to the person. I'm not worried about the person. And then you get up and then just ignore it. And now that's when he can come and say hello, right? On his own, if he wants to. And generally, if it is a stranger, he's going to come up and smell. But if you're there holding that leash all tight, all nervous that he might do something, you're saying to him, I'm concerned about that person. I'm worried about the person. He doesn't think you're worried about his potential behavior. He associates it with the person. So that's why you got to be so calm and just relax. Know that if he does something, you got the leash and you can snap, correct, sit, relax, and he'll be fine. See? This is really good. And kudos to you for sticking with him to
3 weeks.
build that relationship. Cheers on that, my friend. Okay, thank you for your help. But could I get you to do one more favor? Go out the back door, walk around the house, and then go to the front door, ring the doorbell, and we'll come and let you in, okay?
You can probably go out down the bottom and out as well. Thanks, Daniel.
So you see that?
Yeah.
So this is all you need to do, same thing. And he has a lot of trust and respect for you guys, so he should listen to you. It should work out pretty well. More than anything now, it's just a habit. He's just done this for so long.
And like you said, not having the tools to kind of knowing how to correct him, and not having an opportunity to even be able, it's like, who do we get? We can get the neighbours to come, but he knows them, so yeah, he might bark at the door, but as soon as he sees him, he's not going to show any interest in him, so we're not able to.
But barking at the door is the beginning of the problem. He's already in that alert state of mind. If he's up here, calm, relaxed, laying down on his bed, you're not going to have those problems.
Yeah.
It's about state of mind. See, it's not about training your dog. It's about having a conversation with your child. Except these kids have fur and don't speak English.
So the barking at the windows, the going to the windows, that's where we've got to stop that by having the conversation to say you don't need to do that.
Go lay down on your bed instead, or go lay on the couch instead. And then they learn that if he goes up to the window and he just looks out calm, nothing happens. But as soon as he starts to bark, away from the window. Okay, you don't want me doing that at the window. And then he won't. He'll just go there and stand and look out the window.
So for me, it's remembering what I've got to do.
This is where I want us to focus on me, see? So you stand in front in that direction. When you see his body shaking, that's not fear. That's, what would he normally do? He'd normally be gone. So his body is not able to do what his mind wants to do. So the body is not dissipating the energy. That's what the shake is. It's not fear. So because of the shake, I'm just going to come down here and just lick his neck a little bit. So it's all. Because that is more of a trigger for him than the back door. Stay. And you see, you just walk away. You don't do this. You just walk. Here you can look at him and give him another little stay. Hey, how you doing? Come on in. So again, I come right to him, turn sideways, come down and lick his neck. Good focus. And then he relaxes right down.
And when you lift his neck, you're closing your eyes.
Soften my eyes.
So.
When you stand in front, and so correction, sit, relax, affection. That's the mantra that you need to remember. Everything else is just theory. Your actual practical is correction, the tiss or the touch to get the focus. And then sit, relax, and that's where you're teaching them to calm your mind. Same with her. She gets too excited, stop, sit, relax, and look at her till she looks at you. And then as soon as they look, that's when you blink. So I blink, my eye opens, and then I close my eyes as I come down to lick the neck, and then as soon as I lick the neck, I open my eye. Kisses. Thank you, baby. You're so cute. Such a good girl. Okay, Gurney. Thank you again. Cheers.
Thanks, Daniel.
This is Reggie here. It was 4 days ago we did the consultation and got him out with some of my dogs here. And here's his sister Maddie. So the last time they were at daycare, Reggie was just being a little territorial over his sister. He hasn't done anything like that here. He's been so good. He was very respectful with the other dogs when he came in, allowing them to smell him. And then he was very respectful when he was smelling them back. That's good. So this black lab is Melina. She's the pack grandmother. That tan dog is Jake, her husband. He's the grandfather. This is Jack, their son. He's the alpha male. This is Jasmine. She's the new alpha male to replace Melina now that she's a grandmother. Bailey is just hanging out. And this is Marshall. He's also just kind of hanging out. Aren't you, Marshall? So, I don't need no more muzzle with him, and kisses. Not the kisses. I love giving kisses. And you love giving kisses too. I know. So they're both really good dogs. They're both very diplomatic, very friendly and happy and outgoing. So that was a little lip curl there because Bailey was licking his lip. So he's just a little lip curl just to say, no, don't lick my lip. So I'll ask Bailey to move back. Okay.
Fantastic.
Excellent. These owners and thousands like them suffer for years because of the completely false and misinformation they have been given by dog trainers and organizations like the BCSPCA. These experts will try and convince you this dog is shut down out of fear of me because I use aversive techniques. In reality, they can never get a dog like this to be calm and relaxed like this. So they have to try and discredit those who can. This video proves what they say about reactive, aggressive, and fearful dogs is a complete lie, completely made up, and published as science. It's pseudoscience. Please leave a comment if you were told by a dog expert to euthanize your reactive, aggressive, or fearful dog without ever meeting your dog or holding its leash. The world needs to know the truth. Tell it. These experts actually tell people it is better to kill your dog than have it abused by me. No treats, no words, no dominance, no abuse. Just the assertive love of a mother dog. You have nothing to worry about. Just relax. Don't euthanize your dog because a dog trainer with a treat pouch or the BCSPCA tells you to. Call me, 250-465-1090. Cheers, my friends.